Welcome to Kids Way to Chinese, a full curriculum of iPad apps to help you teach Chinese to children ages 4 to 15. We're going to show you how our learning activities engage and entertain the students in the classroom through short stories, songs, and fun games. Here you can see the first 4 apps for beginners. The apps are graded alongside the Confutius Institute curriculum for young learners. These 4 apps follow the first level, YCT1, which contains 80 words. Each app has 3 lessons, all following a common storyline. In each lesson you have 3 areas: discover, write, and play. The discover area is where the learning objectives of the lesson are developed via fun activities. Most discover activities are focused in listening comprehension and speaking. The write area is where the child can practice writing Chinese characters. The play area is full of engaging games where all that the student has learned in the previous areas can be put into practice. The discover area is presented like a path of around 15 steps. For each completed step, he gets 1 piece of the puzzle. At the end, he should be able to complete the full puzzle. Today, we will give you a quick look at how these great apps can help you with your students. Let's start with stories. Kids love stories. Find out who got to Grandma's house first and get your first piece of the puzzle.
你好，妈妈，你好。
This one is about Little Red Riding Hood. Since it's the first story, we wanted to start with something familiar to the student.
名字？我叫红红。
这是谁 ？Peter。
Each app contains 3 stories with which we introduce the basic vocabulary and functions that the student is going to learn. The other stories introduce Chinese culture.
这是谁？这是谁 ？Sunny. It's the wolf. Wow, it's the wolf. And now I'm going to tell you the story.
谢谢。
不客气。
你叫什么名字？
You can enable or disable pinyin, however you prefer.
你叫什么名字？
妈妈，你好。妈妈，你好。你好。你好。你叫什么名字？我叫红红。红红，走走走走走走。你好。喵喵。你好。你叫什么名字？喵喵。我叫小猫。红红，走走走走走走。
你好。你好。你叫什么名字？我叫小鸟。
戴上耳机。一。很好。对，很好。对，很好。
The key objective is that the child listens carefully and is able to repeat what he listens.
2、3、4、5、6、7，谢谢。
不客气。你好吗？
我很好。
好了，好了，耳机摘下来，耳机摘下来。
Most classroom activities promote creativity and collaboration to keep students motivated. And for that, something they love, recording their voices. You can ask each of them to record the story with their own voice. Or why not organize them in small groups and ask each of them to take one character? Then they can record the full story with different voices.
Okay, are you ready? Yes. Okay. 很多花，1、2、3、4、5、6、7。
Terrific. Do you want to hear that?
Okay. 很多花，1、2、3、4、5、6、7。
很棒，你很棒，很好。
Each group can show the rest what a great performance they did.
他是谁？他是 Peter。对，哦不对，Maria。Sally。对，哦不对，很好 Maria，很好 Sally。And this game is a cooperative game. Only if all of you press the correct answer, you will get 1 point. So, you have to help each other. Would you like to win the game? Yes. Really? Yes. Okay.
This collaborative game is one of my favorite. Students have to sit in groups of 4 around a table with a single iPad in the middle. Each student then has a character facing him. The character in the middle asks a question, and each student has to decide whether the answer that his or her character has said is correct.
对。
他们爱吃什么？他们爱吃苹果。爸爸爱吃米饭。哥哥爱喝牛奶。他们爱喝水。
If it is correct, he taps on the flower.
他们爱吃苹果。
If it is not correct, he taps on the hammer.
这是什么？好的，谢谢。我爱吃鱼。他爱喝水。这是苹果。
Only when the 4 students are right, the group wins a point.
什么是鱼？
妈妈爱吃什么？妈妈爱吃面条。他们爱吃苹果。他们爱喝水。哥哥爱喝水。
不对。
妈妈爱吃面条。
You can encourage them to help each other, as this is a collaborative game. You can find this game in several lessons. In each lesson, the question and answers are built with the vocabulary and functions that the student has learned so far. There are more than 2,000 phrases only for the YCT1 apps, all built with only 80 words.
爱吃什么？妈妈爱吃面条。没关系。
你和妈妈谁的个子高？他们爱喝水。我爱吃面条。是我高。小猫爱喝牛奶。是我高。你看什么？他叫小小。看你。不多。
If you can get the students to play this game several times, they are really going to master their listening skills.
很好。
我爱吃什么？我爱吃苹果。他们爱喝水。
And I tell you, they will be quick at it.
你喜欢踢足球？
Now it's time for some competition and scoring goals. This is something all kids love.
两个小组，小组一 Maria Peter， 小组一 Rob， 很好，排队，快点，快点。小组二 Amy Sally， 快点。1号，2号，3号，4号，明白？好。1号 Maria and Kitty， 好。Maria， 你先。
The goalkeeper asks a question, and each player says an answer.
大的，不，我不和。我去中国。
You have to choose the player who said the correct answer and drag him to the penalty spot. Only one of the player's answers makes sense. He will only score the goal if he is the one who said the correct answer.
我爱吃面条，我不认识。今天8月20号。
很好。
The scoreboard reflects how many goals you scored versus how many you failed. Only if you score more than you failed, you can win a trophy. After 5 trophies, you will get a golden ball. And at the end, you can have a class ranking and a world ranking by tapping on the Game Center button.
Peter， 你赢了。
This game is also available as a standalone universal iPhone and iPad app.
Do you like comic? Yeah. Let's design our own comic. Yeah.
The comic game encourages kids to be creative while pushing them to think in Chinese. They have to write a comic using the characters they have seen previously.
And he's alone. He's alone here.
The characters then can say different phrases, which they can drag from the balloons at the right of the screen. By tapping twice on the balloon, you can listen to the phrase. The student doesn't need to read the Chinese characters if they are still not able to. With this, we are trying to help the student develop his listening comprehension skills.
"不客气。
I recommend you play this game in couples. This way, the 2 students have to think out the story together and they can help each other. Once the storyboard is finished, Each of them will have to act as one of the characters, and they will have to record the full story with their own voices.
And you can record now, yeah.
你好，你好，你吃什么？我爱吃苹果，谢谢。不客气。你吃什么？我吃米饭，我爱吃米饭。再见，再见，再见。
And why not show each story to the rest of the class so the students can show what great Chinese writers they are? You may want your students to learn some basic classroom routines in Chinese. Listen to the expression, and you will be able to continue making your way through the maze.
起立，坐下，
Stand up and sit down can be a good start.
起立，
If you feel your students need some action, ask them to sit down and stand up following the video.
坐下，
Once you feel they are tired and ready to sit, you can ask each one to do the activity by himself, tapping on the children that are sitting or standing, according to what the iPad says. All love singing karaoke, and children even more. Grandma's house.
走走走呀走，我们一起来走路。
Once they have learned the song, they can try and record themselves. Their voice will be recorded over the original music and voice. To do that, first tap the music button on the bottom left and then the record button to the right. I recommend you practice the song in the classroom, all together at the same time. And now, let's go for some Chinese culture. Your students will like to learn that in China, you can represent the first 10 numbers with just one hand. You don't need the second hand, as they are used to. Once you have explained them, this activity will push their memory to the limits. They have to repeat the sequence, tapping on the hands that represent the numbers they hear. You can encourage them to use this new way of representing numbers across other activities.
2、5、8、9、9、2、5、8、9、9、2、5、8、9、9、2、2、5。10
As you know, a good way to help your students memorize Chinese characters is by relating them to pictures familiar to the student. With this activity, the child will have to find the Chinese numbers hidden in the picture. His imagination will do the rest of the work.
5、4、
9 6
To get familiar with the Chinese characters, this word search game is a great tool. It is amazing to see how children enjoy writing characters with their fingers on an iPad. In this exercise, they are first asked to write the characters with a clear guide to the order of the strokes.
Okay, do it by yourself.
In the second part of the exercise, the visual guide with the stroke order has disappeared.
很好。
Note that we also use different colors as a visual help. The first stroke is always red, the second always blue, the third green, and so on. In order to guide your students through their first steps in Chinese free handwriting, we have prepared this simple exercise. You need to have the Chinese Simplified Handwriting keyboard installed. In order to have it installed, you need to go to your iPad settings, General, Keyboard. With the keyboard installed, if you tap on the blank box, the keyboard will show up and you will have to write the Chinese character with your finger. If it doesn't show, you have to tap on the World button to the bottom left until you see the Chinese handwriting keyboard. You'll be surprised to see how easy it is for your students once they get familiar with the process. Well, this is it for today. We hope you liked it. We have many more upcoming videos to show you how you can use these great apps in the classroom. You can download the apps on the Apple App Store. We have a school license scheme available that allows you to track students' progress via a teacher's portal. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at info@kidswaytochinese.com.